Welcome to SciSage, where everything is simple. Today, we're diving into a really critical explainer, especially for anyone over 55 who feels like a good night's sleep is just becoming a distant memory. If you're nodding your head right now, trust me, you are absolutely not alone. But what if the reason you're tossing and turning isn't what you think it is? That's right. As we get older, our bodies can start running low on key vitamins and minerals that literally control our ability to sleep well. And the good news? This is often a surprisingly simple problem to fix. So here's our roadmap. We'll kick things off with why sleep gets harder, cover the one rule you absolutely must follow, and then we'll dive into the key vitamins and minerals. We'll finish up with a couple of special cases, and of course, a clear action plan to put it all to use. Okay, let's start with the most important concept here. We are not talking about magic sleeping pills. So the crucial point is this. If you have plenty of magnesium, for example, taking more of it isn't going to do a thing for your sleep. But if you're deficient, well, then getting your levels back to normal could be the key that unlocks a fantastic night's rest. It's all about fixing an underlying problem. And that brings us to the single most important piece of advice in this entire explainer. Before you even think about buying a single bottle of anything, you need to follow one simple rule. This comes directly from the expert. See, taking supplements you don't actually need won't help, and it can even be harmful or mess with your medications. The only way to know what your body is actually missing is to get the data. So here's your plan. Next time you see your doctor, tell them about your sleep issues and ask to check your nutrient levels. After you get your blood work done, ask for a copy of the results so you can see your own numbers. And most importantly, always confirm that any new supplement is safe with your current medications. And just before we get into the specifics, a quick tip on quality. Supplements aren't regulated like drugs, so you want to look for a USP or an NSF seal on the bottle. It's just a simple check that tells you the product has been independently verified for quality. All right, let's get into our first and you could argue most important supplement. Let's talk about vitamin D. This is kind of a double whammy for seniors. We might spend a little less time outdoors, and even when we do, our bodies are just less efficient at producing and using this vital vitamin. And the impact is, well, it's staggering. A study showed that older men with low vitamin D were getting less than 5 hours of sleep a night. And their sleep efficiency, that's basically how much time you spend in bed actually sleeping, was down in the 70s. For comparison, a healthy score is over 85%. That is the difference between waking up rested and waking up totally exhausted. The link here is just incredibly strong. Low vitamin D is consistently connected to shorter sleep, much poorer quality sleep, and it can even make conditions like sleep apnea more severe. It really is a foundational piece of the sleep puzzle. So what should you aim for? Well, if you're under 70, the recommendation is about 600 IU per day. But if you're over 70, that number actually bumps up to 800 IU, just to compensate for that less efficient absorption. Of course, the best source is always a little bit of sunshine each day, but supplementation is a great alternative. Next up, let's look at a powerful trio of essential minerals that play a huge role in your sleep. First up is iron. Now, iron deficiency is very common in older adults, and it's directly linked to both insomnia and that awful creepy crawly feeling of restless leg syndrome. That's because iron is absolutely essential for producing the very brain chemicals, like serotonin, that regulate sleep. But, and this is a big but, be careful. Iron overload is dangerous, so stick to the recommended dose and only supplement if your blood work shows you actually need it. Next is zinc, which plays this really fascinatingly different role. It doesn't actually make you feel tired. Its job is to help you stay asleep. It promotes that deep, restorative, slow-wave sleep that helps your body repair itself overnight. And studies show that people who sleep the best, well, they tend to have higher levels of zinc. And finally, the big one, magnesium. This is probably the most well-known sleep mineral out there. It's basically a natural relaxant. It calms your muscles and your nervous system by supporting healthy levels of a neurotransmitter called GABA. And the result?
deeper, more continuous sleep. Just a tip, if you do supplement, start with a low dose, because too much can sometimes cause stomach issues.
But hey, here's a fantastic all-natural tip from the expert: banana tea. You just boil an organic banana, peel and all, in some water. The peel is packed with magnesium. You just drink the water before bed. It's a simple, safe, and surprisingly effective way to get more magnesium into your system. Okay, now for two very special cases. One is a supplement that requires some extreme caution, and the other is something you might not even think of as a supplement at all. Let's talk about melatonin. The problem is, people treat it like a harmless vitamin, but it's not. Melatonin is a powerful hormone that signals to your brain that it's time for sleep. And yeah, as we age, our bodies naturally produce less of it, so supplementation can be helpful for some seniors. But dosage is everything. According to the sleep doctor, the maximum effective dose you should ever take is just 0.5 milligram. That's it. A tiny, tiny amount to supplement what your body is no longer producing on its own. But here's the shocking part. You go to any drugstore and you'll find bottles of 5 or even 10 milligram tablets. That's 20 times the effective dose. Taking that much can seriously mess with your natural sleep rhythm. So after all that, what do you think is the single safest, cheapest, and most powerful supplement we've talked about today? It's water. I know, we don't think of it this way, but proper hydration is absolutely fundamental to sleep. We lose almost a liter of water every single night just by breathing, and being even slightly dehydrated can totally disrupt your sleep. It's the foundation upon which everything else is built. All right, let's bring it all home and wrap this up with your clear action plan. So here's the bottom line. Your sleep issues might not be some big mystery. They could be as simple deficiency. The solution starts not with guessing, but with testing. Talk to your doctor about key players like vitamin D and essential minerals. And remember to treat supplements like melatonin with real caution, while never, ever forgetting the most powerful foundation of all, just staying properly hydrated. You know, the biggest takeaway here is that you're not powerless against poor sleep. You actually have the ability to investigate its root cause. So the real question is, what's the first thing you're going to ask your doctor?